Yay! Can you hear me?
But
Yeah, I can
I
hear you.
could barely hear
So
that intro. Guys, can you just let us know the sound levels in the
we
let us
don't.
know in the chat the sound levels
I can't.
because
I can.
I did not hear the music at all. So I don't know if Lee Corn was playing the
No,
music.
I can't. I can't hear it any time it plays. Doesn't. I can't
Yeah,
hear it. So
so because I could not hear it. So guys, can you just confirm that you hear the usual music that we play? And can you just let us know what the sound levels was for the intro music? Because I did hear it, but I barely heard it. So if you guys could let us know in the chat, that'd be really appreciated. Because Lee has just got a new computer, he's got a new setup and stuff, so he's just trying to get the levels sort of thing
I
going
look a
on,
bit
buddy.
dark. Just
Yeah,
the
and for
lighting
some
too
reason,
dark.
I don't know if he's still in Stockport, but he certainly moved somewhere
That is
else as well.
Stockport. Yeah, that's Stockport. Is
It is still
yeah, it's
Stockport.
still
Oh,
Stockport. Yeah,
okay then.
but
All right then. Hello everyone and welcome
hello.
to the Snowflake Show. It is season 3, episode 16. I'm your co-host Reganelite alongside.
I'm Lee Corn.
Yes, and over the next hour or so, we're going to go through the latest news, views, and share some funny and a good news story for you guys as well today. Lee, how have you been? Last week's show did not go to plan. Let us hope this show goes according to plan.
It ended a little bit abruptly, didn't it? Just to put
It
it
did,
mildly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I had a power cut.
if you got to make sure that the kids don't pull any plugs out, because you never know what would happen, Lee.
To be honest, I had a nightmare. Just like everything went down and it just couldn't. A bit of a mess. So anyway, the upshot is it's all been working since. So, and I got a new computer this week. So fingers crossed everything's okay. There's not much happening in the chat. Oh yeah, no resignations today, lads. Says Sir Larry the Cat.
Resignations?
Well,
What
what
resignations?
kind of
I have not
resignations?
resigned
Football
from my YouTubing career. Lee Corn has
managers.
not resigned from the Snowflake Show. There's been no resignations here, not that I know of.
Yeah, should we go through see who else is here? Then Regan's here.
Yeah.
He's always here. Can't get rid of that guy. Vincent Brennan. Hello all from a cold Clyde Valley. Hi Vincent. Don't forget to like the like button and share across social media. See, he does have uses, Regan. There you go.
That's my usual stick that I do on all other YouTube channels. Yeah, whenever I plug them, I just copy and paste that everywhere.
It's just the same. Oh, that's what I've seen before. I left the evening hello snowflakes, evening lefty. Countdown is broken. Yes, countdown was just stuck at 4 minutes 35 and wasn't moving. So, but we upgraded. That was the other thing because you had the same problem, didn't you? With the upgraded.
Yeah, I still have not fixed my countdowns. I'm very annoyed by it. I have looked for programs, but I can't seem to find one.
That's fine.
So,
see if I can find a new one.
If anyone has any recommendations, let me know.
Yeah.
I might just ask. I might ask on Max's server as well.
So let me
check.
Let me know if the sound's okay because I'm using just the headphone mic today. So I haven't had a chance to set up a microphone. Music slightly quiet, but everything else a-okay. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
As long as you can hear it. No Tory resigning, then damn, that's boring. Says well, let's see. There's always time. There's time.
There's time.
Daily Barzet's here. Sorry, I missed Daily Barzet. Good evening, our friend Lefty Voter. And good evening all. Hope everyone is very well tonight. And so Larry the Cat's here. Good evenings, everybody. Chatty Rats
Time
here.
to let loose, says Duke Vengeance.
Yes, Duke's here. Time to let loose. Yeah, Duke's had PC problems as well. You've had your monitor problems. I've had power problems, and Duke's had PC problems. So it's been
it's been one of those mare weeks, guys.
Chatty Rat says, "Good evening, folks." Hi, Chatty. I resigned to not resigning, says Vincent. Well done.
Yeah, so someone resigned and then didn't resign, but technically they've already resigned, but they haven't resigned, or something like that. I think.
I'm going now. That's
yeah. Good to see you, David Buzzy. I hope you had a good week so far. Yeah.
Number 3.
We will be talking about him. We do have a story on him. A story on him. Hello, number 3. Good to see you, buddy. Guys, make sure you check out both Daily Blase and number 3's YouTube channels, respectively, as well, if you're not already a subscriber to them. So should we?
So Larry Cat says, so Mickey Mouse murals safe yet? Well, I don't know because there's still a lot of evil, nasty people in that government.
Yeah, it's still not guaranteed safe, unfortunately. But you never know. But we have a different mural to show you guys, actually, don't we, Lee? From one of the images that we got.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice one. And a nice fitting one, considering a certain person left their post. But we will talk about that shortly. But we have a certain man we need to talk about that I spent 6 hours watching him dither and delay and
deflect.
And 6 hours of my life, guys, that I will never get back.
Oh dear, yeah.
Yeah. Shall we hit the news then, shall we?
Let's hit the news.
Yeah, for me the sound is very, very low.
I can't hear it at all at this end. It does say it's playing okay, but
yeah, right. Maybe it's my internet connection. I don't know, guys.
It could be because
I did.
It could be my settings because I've had to set everything up from scratch, so it could be that.
Well, I will just point out that I did see myself frozen on the screen on the live stream at one point. So I know we've got a new box from BT that was replaced, and it has been a bit stuttery at times. But I've had no problem with my live stream, but obviously it might affect me. But yeah, if I cut off or whatever, just point it out to me while I'm talking. The COVID inquiry, guys. Today we had 6 hours of Boris Johnson, and they're going to have another 6 hours of Boris Johnson tomorrow. I don't know why anyone would want to listen to Boris Johnson for 12 hours, but there you go. So this one is one of the ones from today. So people were removed from the COVID inquiry as Boris Johnson apologises for the pain and suffering. The former Prime Minister tells the inquiry there was not a loud enough klaxon, I can't say that word, of alarm in Whitehall in early 2020. But that he can't say that I would have gone either in implementing the first lockdown. I'll just give you a brief, because I did do a video on my channel, nearly 30 minutes long about my thoughts, Lee, and I'll just share them with you here. I didn't feel like Boris Johnson was a man that truly cared about the inquiry, or he didn't come across as someone who, like, although he came across as sympathetic and sorry, there were times where he smiled and there was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing from him at times. And he constantly kept praising the COVID inquiry that he set up as well, to see him out. And he didn't really, in any point of the inquiry, attack anyone directly. He was very protective of Matt Hancock as well. I will say, obviously, before we talk about this, that I understand, and I know everybody in the chat is going to say this. I've said this in my video, and I'll say it here, guys. I understand the anger. I understand the frustration. I understand that we want to throw this man. You know, you want to throw tomatoes at him. You want to throw this guy behind bars because of what he has done. And I totally get all that. But protesting in the COVID inquiry is not going to undo the damage he has done. Protesting is not going to bring back your loved ones. It's not going to make things any better. Again, I understand the anger and frustration, but if they couldn't handle him being there, they should not be there. Is a simple message I have for them. Again, I understand that you didn't want him to come in and do some waffling and that, but that was to expect it because it's Boris Johnson. He's going to be like that, whether you like it or not. And you've got to let the COVID inquiry do what it's there to do, and that is to get to the bottom of what happened during the coronavirus pandemic. You have to let them do it. I understand it's frustrating, but I thought Hugo Keith did a very good job in terms of some of his questioning. He set Boris Johnson up for quite a few falls today, and I expect him and some others to set him up for some more falls tomorrow. So I just wanted to put that in there.
I mean, for the protesters, I think they were frustrated that they wanted to confront him as he entered the inquiry, but he turned up 3 hours early, I think deliberately, so he could avoid that. But apparently they just stood at the back with signs held up. They weren't shouting or anything, and they're just told to sit down. And they refused to sit down, so they got thrown out. But I mean, protest is a valid form of getting your voice heard. So
Yeah. So Boris Johnson was interrupted by protesters as he apologised for the suffering caused by COVID. During his appearance at the official inquiry into the pandemic on Wednesday today, 4 people were removed from the public gallery after holding up pictures along with the words, "Dead, the dead can't hear you, apologise." Mr. Johnson was told he was deeply sorry for the pain and loss and suffering, but he said he hoped the probe will be able to get answers for those very difficult questions that victims and families were rightfully asking. During the evidence session that will continue tomorrow on Thursday, the inquiry heard various testimonies from the former Prime Minister, including the government underestimating the scale and of the pace of the challenge from COVID, including the peaks from come in May and June. The tone of the private WhatsApp messages was a reflection of agony in the country was going through. A denial that he was on holiday over the half-term break in February 2020. I'm just going to say he was on holiday. As claimed by former aide Dominic Cummings. By the way, he tweeted out his Substack report when this as well, just to kind of stick the knife in, because why not? Boris Johnson explained that he can't say whether he would have had gone earlier in ordering the first lockdown, but he took full responsibility for the decisions made. He never actually stayed throughout the whole 6 hours saying, "I made a mistake." He never actually stated that. Like, he said he was sorry what happened, but he never said, "I, as the Prime Minister, made mistakes." He never did that, just to put that in there. The former Prime Minister offered an apology to sufferers of long COVID, having described the condition as bollocks in 2021. He stood by Matt Hancock, I don't know why, saying that the then Health Secretary did a good job whatever his defects. He said in the Cobra meetings as well, in some of the Cobra meetings that Boris Johnson didn't attend, that Matt Hancock did. He said Matt Hancock had his hands on it, but I think he had his hands somewhere else, Lee. I'm just going to put that out there. Speaking on his first day of questioning at the COVID inquiry, he set up to learn the lessons of the pandemic. Mr. Johnson said unquestionably mistakes were made by this government, added that he took responsibility for all the decisions that were made. Within the conclusion of the lockdown decisions of their timelessness, the circulation of the virus had in the residential care sector and the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. The ex-Prime Minister, who was ousted from Downing Street in the summer of 2022, said that he acknowledged that so many people suffered and so many people lost their lives. But he said that the government was doing their best at the time, given what we knew, given the information I had available to me at the time. I think we did our best, a level best. Mr. Johnson placed some blame on the difficult messaging coming from the different governments in the devolved nations of the UK. There was a far more that united us than divided us, he said. Would the uniting have something to do about taxpayer money? Do you think that's what united them, Lee, more than anything? I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I think what united them was the means to be able to take as much taxpayer money from.
Well, I don't know about uniting them, but I mean, I think he's talking about the devolved governments, isn't he? Here? That he's talking about Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales, Welsh assemblies.
Yeah, they were definitely united by following Scotland in their lead. Just going to put that in there. But understandably, they were looking to talk directly to their own electorates, but there were going to be times where they differed from the main UK government message. And I thought that sometimes at risk of being confusing at a time when we needed to land the message simply. But Hugo Keith, who led the questioning for the inquiry, asked Mr. Johnson why he did not foresee the scale of the destruction of the COVID pandemic, which would cause in the early 2020s, given that the inquiry had seen evidence to suggest others in Westminster were concerned as early as February. Then Mr. Johnson admitted that the wider government underestimated the threat posed by the virus, saying that the concept of the pandemic did not imply to Whitehall's mind the kind of utter disaster that COVID was to become. Now, I want to just put a key point as well in there. That the WHO had stated that it was a major concern at the end of January as well as obviously things were as the virus was already spreading out of China as well around that time as well. So it was before it really blew up in Italy, it was already going out of control over there in Asia. So the early warning signs were already there. So that's an important distinction to make as well. He said that in the early days of March, government figures and officials were all collectively underestimating how fast it had already spread in the UK, and though the peak would be in May or June, which turned out to be totally wrong. I don't blame the scientists for that at all, he said. that was the feeling, and it just turned out to be wrong.
I think that's bollocks. I'm sorry, but
Go on.
saying
No,
it's
that's
a
fine.
he's saying it's a feeling and don't blame the scientists. Yeah, because it probably wasn't the scientists talking about May or June. Because you could see how it spread in Italy, you could see how it spread in Spain, in China. These things, we had chance to lock down early, before it got too bad over here, and they didn't, because for whatever reason they thought, oh well, according to this, he thought it'd be in May or June, but in the middle of March, it was obvious that this was going to be bad, and we could have nipped it in the bud, or at least delayed it and kept the figures down by locking down earlier, and we knew you could see it from, like I say, from Italy and Spain. I mean, in Spain, the point where I realised it was really bad, was when I watched a news article where there was a care home where they're bringing out a body every day from the care home. It was just running rampant through care homes, and they're having problems dealing with it in the morgues. And I thought, damn, but you could see that our figures are way low at that point, and all he needed was for him to deal with it properly. But yeah, the thing with Boris Johnson is he doesn't like taking hard decisions. So if you can put it off a bit longer, then he'll do that and then not worry about it, rather than actually worried about it. I don't know if we're going to get on to because he said, I don't think he is, because he's talking about other things.
They didn't discuss Partygate, if that's what you asked.
No, he was going to say, I think he mentioned it before, he said they didn't swig that Italy.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. Italy, I remember seeing it on the TV, it running rampant, and I can't remember. I don't know who it was from, but I remember them showing video of what's happening in Italy, the doctors and nurses running up and down in hospitals and all that. And I was seeing that, and I was like, Jesus Christ, because I was already hearing what was going on in China, but then when it hit Italy, I was like, that's coming here. They need to do something. And then all I remember is Boris Johnson sitting down on the ITV this morning, saying, take it on the chin. And I'm just like, are you not just see what we just seen?
It was almost like British exceptionalism. It won't hit us. We're an island, we're not going to get here. But they didn't close the borders.
They didn't close the borders. That's the thing I put up in my video as well. They didn't even close the borders. He hadn't contemplated that. And I was just like, dude, we're an island. We could have saved so many lives if we just closed the borders earlier.
Or even track people who came in. They just let anybody come in. There's no track or trace at that point. There's no attempt to check people as they came in, or even before they boarded planes at the other end, which could have done. There's all sorts of things they could have done, but they just did nothing.
No, they didn't.
It was too late. By the time they got to it and the lockdown, it was too late. So much damage had been done, and then they repeated the same thing later on. Then there was the next big lockdown. Again, they were dragging their heels on whether to have a lockdown. It's like
he was asked about the point he made about the lockdown. He was like, you could see it happening, and why did you go ahead with such as the Cheltenham Festival and the Spanish football game in Atletico?
Yeah, Atletico and Liverpool. I mean, what was his answers on those?
Yeah, deflection.
Yeah,
I think with hindsight. That's what we heard so many times. Hindsight. Same thing with Matt Hancock. With hindsight, well, we're not talking about with hindsight. And then when he was asked about obviously having one of the worst death rates in Europe, and he was he was basically saying, well, everyone in Europe had it bad. Yeah, and I was like, well, we're not talking about Europe. We're talking about you. We're talking about what happened in Britain. We're not talking about the rest of Europe.
Yeah, I mean, on that, I'll go up to Cheltenham Festival in a second, but on that, he literally said that the COVID inquiry was wrong, that the figures that they got were wrong, and it's like, well, no, this is the evidence. This isn't just what you like.
He contradicted his own evidence that he provided to the inquiry.
The ON and he basically said, no, this is what the ONS is saying. And he's like, oh, well, I think you'll find this, and he's like, no, whatever your figures you're coming up with there, you think off the top of your head. Oh, I'm sure I saw some evidence, a chart of numbers where we were one of the better ones. It's like, no.
I find the funniest. I would say the amusing thing is when he was challenging evidence. Some of it was his own evidence that he gave to the inquiry, and then he was asked about the WhatsApp messages, and he basically said, they disappeared, or there was a backup issue or something from WhatsApp side or point of view.
It was the part where he says, when on this date you had a factory reset, and he goes,
yeah,
factory reset? Well, as though like a factory what is that? As though like he'd never come across a factory reset on anything. Mind you, he probably gets everybody else to do it. He's set for him. But going back
I said this in my video. Someone put up a poll like, "What is Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages he's hiding?" One of the options was Russian messages.
Yeah.
Second one was mistresses. Third one was blackmail from Cummings. I can't remember what the fourth one was, but it was just like, and then Supertansky replied saying, "It's all of them."
All of them, yeah, exactly. Okay, but the Cheltenham Festival is a good example. That it was, is it Dido Harding? Her and her husband, they all got links to horse racing, the and big ties to it all. And it is probably, I think one of them, I think his husband's the organizer, and got links to Randox, who sponsors of one of the big, the Grand National, and they're all linked. They're all the Jockey Club. That's it. They're all got links to the Jockey Club. And so it'd be like, we need to lock down. Oh, well, we've got Cheltenham Festival next week. Can we hold it off after that? Right, okay. After the Cheltenham Festival, then 250,000 people mingling in close proximity to each other in beer tents and things like that. Do you remember that? I remember this. There was an article about a journalist from Ireland had come over for it, and she said she was like worried when she got in there. And she said if she went in a beer tent, it was like the last days of Rome. It was just like everybody was climbing over each other trying to get to the bar. You couldn't move. And she said she went home and she started getting ill, and it turned out she caught COVID there. So yeah, and then the same, like you say, the same with the Liverpool Atletico Madrid. And bear in mind, Spain was in a really bad state at that point, and they let fans in from Spain to come and watch it.
I don't understand. Yeah, Spain. On that point, that's both Britain and Spain there.
Yeah, well,
but still, like the fact that the game still went ahead was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. But just go back to your evidence. Yeah, I think he said the part I saw. He said he asked him about something that he'd seen, or that somebody had said, and he said, no, I never saw that. And he said that was somebody. Oh no, something that I'd said, and he said no, that was. He said no, you said that. He's like no, that somebody that's a WhatsApp that saying that I'd said something. I can't remember what it was it said, and he goes, "No, actually, here's the WhatsApp." Trying to say
is that WhatsApp is not real evidence.
No, what he was saying was
he's basically saying it's like he's not saying it's planted.
No, what
he's basically saying it's not legit evidence.
No, what he was saying was that it wasn't a WhatsApp that he'd seen. It was a WhatsApp that somebody else had sent to somebody else saying that he'd seen it, and actually they brought the WhatsApp up, and he said, "No, actually, it's from this person to you." Saying that, and so you've definitely seen this.
And then he says, "All right."
Yeah, he just, I don't know. He's not. He's a liar, basically. There's no two ways.
He's a pathogen liar. Like his sympathies mean nothing to the people there.
He's not even just a liar. He's a narcissist. So basically, he has everything is all about him. He doesn't care about anything else. Everything is to make him look good in front of everybody else. He doesn't care about doing the work or putting the effort in. He just wants everybody else to do it for him.
Do you think Rishi Sunak is going to last long enough as PM to attend the COVID inquiry?
I don't know. Well, there was the talk. I was listening to who's the woman on Sheila Fogarty on LBC, and I listened to Suella Braverman's resignation statement, and I mean she was talking about like is she going to like launch a leadership bid off the back of this, and it was pretty much the ultimatum that resignation letter. It was like. You do this, you bring in the Rwanda thing and have people flying out as ASAP, otherwise you're for it, and it's like, and so now you've got well we'll come to what's happening with James Cleverly and Robert Jenrick in a minute, but yeah. Oh, well, actually,
but yeah, we got another.
As well.
So obviously tomorrow there's another 12 hours of Boris Johnson. But most of it will still be from Hugo. Will be has some more to obviously ask. And then of course there'll be some other people who will want to ask questions about him. Whether they will ask about Partygate, I don't know. But it's the obviously, I just want to remind everyone in the chat, because this is really important, because I do have to stress this. This is not a criminal trial. This is not a criminal case. This is not about holding Boris Johnson feet under the fire. This is about establishing what happened under the government during the coronavirus pandemic, and what lessons that we can learn from that. That is the main objective of the COVID inquiry, and it's really important to stress that, because there are people screaming and shouting, basically calling for Boris Johnson to be thrown behind bars and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's not their job. Their job is to find out what happened and to establish as much evidence as they possibly can. So just want to put that out there. I know people want worse done to Boris, but we have to let them do their job. So on that, what are they saying in the chat, Lee? I can't hear what you're saying, so just so you know.
Sorry, I'm muted for the cough.
Oh, okay. You were muting me. Okay.
No, I was muting myself because I was coughing.
Okay, carry on.
Duke says, "Poor, poor, poor. I'm the COVID hero." Poor. Yes. A good impression of Boris there. Mickey Juventus says to Larry the Cat about I think that was about the mural. The bloated blonde one, perchance, says Vincent. Yes. Number 3 says, "Our Etonians taught how to be bullshitters. JLB indicated that." Yes, apparently, yeah. I think it's just the way they're made to feel as though they're entitled to everything, and everybody else should do all the heavy lifting, and they just kind of like take all the glory and push everybody about, do whatever they want. It's an empire-based thing, according to James O'Brien, where they were taught that this, because they were the people who were going out to the colonies and would be running things. So if you left Eton, so you're taught that to basically look at yourself as being better than everybody else. Blobby, blobby, blobby. Yeah, but no, but yeah. Says Larry the Cat. BJ was awful. His hair was hideous. Says number 3. He's sorry for himself. Says Vince Moronic. Yeah. Sorry he got caught. Says Larry the Cat. Yeah. BJ is still lying under oath. Says number 3. That's true.
There was a video online of Boris Johnson swearing by Almighty God, and then someone just stick a fire emoji under it, and I was just like, that just sums up
Bible. Sets on fire. Zhao's here. Hi, Zhao. Good evening, all. Hope
hi, Zhao. Good to see you, buddy.
And then who else? Larry Cards.
Saying hello.
Number 3.
What does full responsibility actually mean?
Yes.
Number 3 asks Lee. What does full responsibility mean, Lee?
Well, he took full responsibility. Apparently, every time, I take full responsibility for what's happened, and he's taken zero responsibility whatsoever. Yeah. Saying it's amazing how much words he can say without actually doing a meaning or doing any of it.
It's almost like his words are completely hollow.
I know, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, but for some reason, people, he did his best. That was the other one. He did his best. We did our best.
He did it. Yeah, he did his best. Yeah. Another thing as well. I'm just going to say, I know we're going through the chat, but part of me thinks that Suella Braverman and what's happening with the whole immigration is also another tactic to distract the people from Boris Johnson and the COVID inquiry. I've got a sneaky feeling that might be another reason why that's kicking off. I don't know. I don't think it's directly, but I do feel like that they do want to take the attention away from Boris Johnson.
I don't. Sunak wouldn't do, because I don't think there's any.
No, not Sunak, but I think Boris. The right wingers who wanted to keep Johnson would have wanted
maybe
Braverman to hit hard, and
today.
They may even try and pull some stunt tomorrow to try and deflect from Boris Johnson
just well.
Because the tomorrow's papers won't be all about the Johnson inquiry. It will be Braverman and Jenrick resigning as well.
Matt and his naughty hands, says Yao. Yep. Ooh, yep. Gina, come to the broom cupboard. Let me get my hands on it. That was just a load of cat. Duke says that Boris's first lie was starting with he was going to tell the truth.
It's true, Duke.
I saw there was a meme that popped on Facebook from a couple of years back, and I think it was Boris Johnson being interviewed, and it was the guy who's on, I forgot his name now, but he says you've told so many lies. what's your favourite one? And he says, I never lie. And he says, yeah, that's my favourite too.
Absolute bollocks about knowing total lies is number 3. Saucy Hancock and the statutory covers.
The stationary cover, yeah.
Simon says 55 is here as well. Hello,
Hi,
Simon. Good to see you, buddy. Everyone saying hello. Boris does not do detail. Truth, honesty, fiddly, please. Feel free to add any other descriptors.
Work. Efforts.
Work. That's a good one. Heathrow Airport open also. It was open. Yeah.
Yes, didn't close any airports or ports or anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, Larry the Cat says, how do the lefty voters staying away from those glory holes? Yeah, okay. We mentioned the glory
if you don't know the reference, guys, you have to watch last week's show if you don't get that reference.
The last sort of 5-10 minutes,
Yeah, Boris earned about 2 minutes in the radio this morning here in Portugal. They were saying something like, Boris explains COVID failures or something. Sakir is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Knowing sweet FA about science didn't help, says number 3, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knew a lot about science, didn't he?
No.
Jal says something very, very important there. Jal says, folks, be careful. This stream contains scenes of Boris' nature. Please do not try to reproduce any Boris without medical supervision. The more you know. Very important.
Duke did a very good one. That's true, Jal. COVID hero.
Too late. Duke is already under the spell, Jal.
Yes.
You might have to time him out.
What will we learn from the inquiry? Nothing, because it wasn't about lack of knowledge. It's about incompetence on an epic scale, says Duke.
It was on an epic scale, absolutely. Indeed, and a big one. An IT guy on X Twitter stated that WhatsApp is designed to prevent deletion of messages. There you go. Yeah. The orb. Yep, the orb is here, but I can't move it.
Why have you got an octopus next to it?
I don't know where he come from, but he got very unhappy. He got very angry because we were talking about COVID and Boris.
Okay, so you're going to change in a bit.
He might change a bit later, guys. The gingerbread man is eating Regan's lava lamp. What? That's not, guys. This is not my lava lamp. I told you, this is Alex's lava lamp from Political X from the Sunday Roast, because he hasn't found his lava lamps yet. He hasn't.
Go on.
We need to return it to him somehow. So I've said this to him already, and he has not responded. So it's not my lava lamp; it's clearly his.
And I need to send you something actually, a little just to go with it to give you octopus company.
Oh, okay.
Jow says I expected Boris to sit down and to sing all by myself. No, because he doesn't know. He doesn't care.
There was times where he looked very, very lonely there, when he was twiddling his fingers and stuff, and his head down. He did look that time at times.
I wouldn't. He's probably tired more than anything. But I think the thing is, remember when he was doing it was at the Ways and Means committee, and he got really angry at one point. I just hope that happens tomorrow. That'd be brilliant. That just
someone needs to do a still black and white image of him with his hands like this, his face down, and then they'll start playing the song. Oh, they need to do that. Definitely need to do that. Duke says my favourite bit was when they sent a minister onto LBC and nobody told her Robert Jenrick had resigned. Now we'll get to that in a bit.
Jimmy Riddle, Cleverly, and Bob the Knob, the Mural Destroyer. Yes.
Jimmy Riddle, Cleverly, and Bob the Knob, Mural Destroyer. Yes. Once a mate of mine caught by the presenter texting an ex said he had sat on the phone. Boris should have used that one.
I did have the WhatsApp message, but I sat on the phone accidentally.
Oh no! GTA 6 is apparently woke. Lee says Duke.
Is that because it's got a female lead or something?
It's gone woke because it's a woman leading it. That's probably the reason. These people. Shall we move on then?
Yes. It was like over 100 million people watched that video in 24 hours. It's a record on YouTube. So,
yeah, apparently they're going woke. I don't know how they're going woke, but okay. It's because I watched the trailer and I was like, well, it just makes sense. Everything have happened on that. Everything is just with today's day and age. So,
Jenrick.
Yeah, apparently Robert Jenrick resigned as immigration minister over the government's Rwanda plan. This literally just happened only a few hours ago, Lee. The Home Secretary James cleverly confirmed Roger Jenrick had resigned from his government post after he was missing from the front bench in the Commons this evening. Oh, what a shame. Where, honestly, did he go? He has resigned from his post as immigration minister, citing strong disagreements with the government over the Rwanda policy.
We're looking at the same one because I'm kind of. This is a Sky News.
Yeah, it's Sky News.
I can't. It doesn't match what you're saying.
Oh,
let me refresh. It might be yours is out of date.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah, there we go. I refreshed it. Yeah. Yeah, resigned from his post, where citing strong disagreements with the government over the Rwanda policy. The Tory MP for Newark said he did not think Rishi Sunak's emergency legislation to revive the stalled asylum plan would end the merry-go-round of legal challenges which have so far paralysed the scheme. I think the real reason he stepped down, Lee, is because he was so sad that Suella Braverman, who he really looked up to, stepped away, and he just has not been the same since. It's hurt him so much. I think he got
this job off the back of that.
I think that's the real reason. I think he's so upset that he can't be with his beloved Suella Braverman. I think that's the real reason.
I think he doesn't want to go through all the legal stuff that's going to go on. He doesn't want to be implicated if they break European Court of Human Rights and UN Court of Human Rights, and even British.
Well, they can't anyway because they have to get whatever. This has been whatever laws or whatever this emergency legislation, they still got to get it through the House of Lords, which will shoot it down because it's
breaks law,
international law. Yeah. So there's no way this is going to work in any way, shape, or form. So Rishi Sunak is going to be in a burning ship anyway. But anyways, he shared his resignation on X moments after the Home Secretary James cleverly confirmed his colleague's departure following repeated questions in the Commons. But in his response, the Prime Minister called the resignation disappointing, saying that he feared the Minister's departure was based on a fundamental misunderstanding of the situation. Yeah, the misunderstanding is that we can't break the law, Robert, so please get over it.
Yeah.
And it was our experience that gives us the confidence that this will work. Speculation married after Mr. Jenrick was missing from the front bench as Mr. Cleverly gave a statement in the Commons on the government's bid to rescue the deal to deport immigrants who arrived illegally to East Africa, which the Supreme Court ruled unlawful. When asked by MP Ashley Dayton if he had resigned, Mr. Cleverly said that has been confirmed. Shortly afterwards, Mr. Jenrick posted on social media, "It is with my greatest sadness that I have written to the Prime Minister to tender my resignation as Minister for Immigration," to which many people on Twitter replied, "Ha ha 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 ha."
How long's been in that job?
Huh?
How long's been in that job? Jenrick.
Been in it for a while, actually.
I
think he was there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was even there when Priti Patel was Home Secretary. Okay. I think he's been there for quite a while, to be honest. Unless there's been a change and I haven't seen it.
I don't know.
I cannot continue in my position as I have strong disagreements with the direction of the government's policy on immigration. In his letter, Mr. Jenrick said he did not think that the emergency legislation published earlier on Wednesday went far enough to end the future legal challenges. The draft bill compels UK judges to treat the East African nation as a safe country and give ministers powers to disregard sections of the Human Rights Act. But it does not go far as providing power to dismiss the European Convention on Human Rights, as hardliners, including sacked Home Secretary Suella Braverman, had demanded. We're going to come to her shortly. Complying with those demands would have left Mr. Sunak facing an outcry from his MPs and the more centrist One Nation faction. Rwanda had also said it would pull out of the deal. This is a key thing. Rwanda said it would pull out of the deal if it breaks international law.
That's cleverly basically said it would break international law. So, yeah. So, small boats were told under damage. However, Mr. Jenrick said small boat crossings were doing untold damage to the country and needed to place international interest, highly contested interpretations of international law. I've therefore consistently advocated for a clear piece of legislation that severely limits the opportunities for domestic and foreign courts to block or undermine the effectiveness of this policy, he wrote in the letter. A bill of the kind you are proposing is a triumph of hope over experience. Yeah, I take it back. I take it back. He has actually gone full Braverman, hasn't he? He's gone full fash.
He was already that when you could see his responses to questions whenever he was defending her in the Commons. Like you see it time and time again when Daily Blase were covering him. He was just pulling out the same lines that she was. You know, he was a proper mouthpiece for her. He was definitely Suella Braverman's bitch. I'll put
He's
that for
a
sure.
lapdog. A lapdog. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's he's just like two double whammies today, isn't it? Him and her and him. Her statement and his resignation. It's just a double whammy to hit at Sunak where it hurts. Yeah. So, but
yeah. 91 Leeds is here. Good evening, 91 Leeds. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Do you want to show them the images?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want to keep read? So we found some very nice images of Robert Jenrick that were posted online for you guys. I think they were quite fitting for him, given his untimely. That's his resignation letter. We don't really need to read that, I don't think. He said, "It's with great sadness I've written to the Prime Minister to tender my resignation as Minister for Immigration. That I cannot continue in my position when I have such strong disagreements with the direction of the government's policy on immigration." When that's clearly not the priority. So this is it, guys. This is Roger Jenrick explained. Mickey Mouse finally gets back at Robert Jenrick. There it is, guys. The image we all wanted. I will put that in the on Discord if you guys want to put if you want that image there. But Robert Jenrick explained #general election now. But yeah, there is Robert Jenrick getting brushed away, guys. And I think there was one more after. He's leaving the burning building, as you guys can clearly see. The Conservatives burning down there. So, but I think the Mickey Mouse one there is the absolute brilliant one. Whoever done that, hats off to them, because it was a nice comeback. And
yeah,
I think it's only fitting because he got the sack. He resigned. So
that looked painful what he just did to him then.
He was very happy. Yeah. Those Disney characters are terrible, says Jow. How dare you say such a thing?
The number 755 says, "Don't put an idiot narcissist in charge." Yes. Jenrick qualified as solicitor in 2008 and practiced corporate law in London and Moscow, says Vincent. Ooh, so brilliant.
Daily Blase says, "I'll get the chords for All by Myself and play it on the guitar then." Yes, my friend, you please do.
Yeah, Lefty Watt says, GTA has always been woke. So, yeah, true.
Was he poking Braverman? He might have been poking her. I don't know where he'll be poking her.
Jeez, Gromit. I don't know.
Jenrick must have a thing for Suella. Those puppy eyes say it all. No, I'm not saying that, Jal. I'm not going to say that.
What's that? Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, it made me laugh before.
No, I'm not going to say that one. It's a bit too much for me. Has Bob the Knob been offered a cabinet position if Braverman becomes the next viewer of the Nazi NATC party? Just asking questions, Sir Larry. I don't know. Well, you're the one in number 10, Sir Larry, so you can find out for us. You know. Yeah. I would have thought Sir Larry the cat would have all the inside scoop. You know.
I think I'm just going to tweak his. I think he'd be saying to Braverman, "Punish me, Suella. Punish me like I'm an immigrant." There you go.
Suella and Bobby sitting in the tree. ... says Sir Larry the cat. And the branches break down, says Jal.
Has Bob the Knot been offered a cabinet position if Braverman becomes? Oh, sorry, you already read that one. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. Those Disney characters are terrible. Shame on you for saying that, Jal. That's some prime mimage right there, says Duke.
Yeah.
Did we win today? Says Colin. Well, I don't know in terms of the temperature or the fact that it's close to Christmas, but I would say there was a win because Minister resigned, but there was a loss because people's like myself, sat there for 6 hours listening to Boris Johnson waffle. So I don't know if that's a win.
Scooby Doo.
So Larry says, "Look, I'm just only asking questions." Jal says, "Sorry, no, I'm joking, buddy. It's a joke, buddy. It's all good." Duke lowers glasses. Excuse me. Shall we hear from the Wicked Witch of the West? As I knock my mic over, what does the Wicked Witch of the West have to say as well? Suella Braverman, the Tories face electoral oblivion if Rwanda bill fails. They're gonna be obliterated, Lee. They're gonna be obliterated if they don't get this bill through.
Oh no, what a pity, never mind.
Oh no, guys, it's gonna be all doom and gloom. No! The Conservatives face total election oblivion if the government's Rwanda legislation is destined to fail, Suella Braverman has warned. The ex-Home Secretary told MPs that the bill must block all routes of legal challenge to allow the flights to take off. Last month, the UK Supreme Court ruled plans to send some asylum seekers to Rwanda were unlawful. The government has promised emergency legislation designed to address the court's concerns. On Tuesday, the Home Secretary, James Not So Cleverly, also signed a new treaty with Rwanda. The government hopes the treaty, combined with the new bill, will be enough to allow the Rwandan scheme to go ahead. But it won't. The policy, which was first announced by the then Prime Minister Alexander Boris Johnson in April 2022, aims to deter people from crossing the channel in small boats. But it won't. But it has been repeatedly delayed by legal challenges, and no asylum seekers have been sent to Rwanda from the UK yet. They never will take off. That flight, that dream flight, the dream is fading fast for Suella.
Oh no, never mind.
In a personal statement to the House of Commons after she was sacked from her cabinet role last month, Mr. Braverman said she welcomed the decision to introduce emergency legislation, but she said, "We're running out of time." The Conservative Party faced electoral oblivion in a matter of months if we introduced yet another bill destined to fail, she told MPs. Do we fight for sovereignty, or do we let our party die? Or as Penny Mordaunt would say, stand up and fight!
I'm not sure where we are on this. I've kind of lost track. But,
you've lost it.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has made stopping... You had it. Back up. There we go. Has made stopping the boats, small boat crossings, one of his top priorities ahead of the next general election, which must take place by January 2025. Mrs. Braverman said the bill must deliver on the Prime Minister's pledge to stop small boats crossings and sail a number of tests that said she said it needs to do this or something along those lines. These include addressing the Supreme Court's concerns about the safety of Rwanda and blocking off all routes and challenges to enable flights carrying asylum seekers to the East African country before the next election. Although Ms. Braverman said she supported leaving the European Convention on Human Rights, ECHR, she said it was not the only way to stop the boats. I accept that the government won't do that, and that is a debate for another day, she added. Lee, what do you make of Miss Suella Braverman's words here?
What was I going to say before about it? It's like, I think it was about where she said the country will face oblivion if we don't get this right, if we don't sort this out. They're facing oblivion anyway. Let's face it. This is just all it do is minimise the damage by a small amount, but they're heading for oblivion, and I can't wait to see the Conservative Party die. I cannot wait. I would love it, in the words of Kevin Keegan, love it if they got battered. Did like Keir Starmer wasn't quite as on form as last week, but I did like the Rishi Sunak gets battered everywhere he goes.
I've said this before, guys, and I say it again. I would love it if after the general election, the Conservative wipe out, I just see Sir Keir Starmer with all the cameras there, him sitting there with a curry and a can of beer in front of them all, and just wiping it. And I want a Daily Mail columnist right there looking at it, and I want him to look at it in their face, and it's like beer and curry. Cheers. I want that right there, guys. That's my dream. I want to see Sir Keir Starmer with a beer and curry after the general election.
So the whole cabinet, The whole cabinet.
Yeah,
with
the
beer
whole
and curry
cabinet have
in
beer
front
and
of
curry
them.
together.
Like,
I want to see
cheers.
that. Yeah. Just smack right in the face of the Daily Mail.
Yes, brilliant.
Smack right in the face of them, guys. That's my dream. Oh.
Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's gonna. She's trying to. I don't know. I don't. I think she's aiming for a leadership bid here, isn't she? But I don't think. I don't think the country could take another leadership, another prime minister without that we haven't even voted for.
No, there would be a lot of anger, and I don't think. Well, there was a tweet from tonight as well where basically Rishi Sunak basically. Stand with me or die is basically what stand with me or die basically is what he said to the Conservative MPs. Like you either stand with me or you're done, basically. Like this leadership bid, like he's really trying to shut down this leadership bid because it's true. It's not gonna like even if by some miracle they push. Let's just say hypothetically they did push him out the door. Like if I was Rishi Sunak, if I really want to stick the knife if I was Rishi Sunak and I really want to stick the knife to Suella Braverman and all these MPs who want to oust him, I would just say, yeah, if you try and force me out, I'm going to call a general election. I think that's what I would do. I would say, get the king up, 3 a.m. Come on, let's go. I want to call a general election.
I'd be happy with that. I don't think that's always a bit.
If he threatens a general election, they will back down. Because they know that time will be gone.
They might think they might as well do it now and then get it over and done with, and try and minimise damage. But I don't know.
Well, obviously he wants that India trade deal so he can make himself a lot of money as well. So that's why he's calling up David Cameron right now and saying, "Please get me that India trade deal. I really, really need it right now." Yeah. So
what was interesting today was we've talked about it so many times about it's actually was it paragraph 19 or article 19 of the Rwanda deal. Is that Rwanda would take the most vulnerable, some of their most vulnerable refugees the UK would take them from Rwanda in exchange for and the press has just ignored it. Occasionally you hear something, but today I think it was what's his name, Nick Ferrari was on LBC this morning. He was like, "Oh, I haven't heard of this. What's this? This is all new." As though it's like just something that's just been slid into the new deal, the new agreement. But it's not. This has been in all along, and it's been mentioned several times today. I've heard in different things. So I think the press are waking up to that one. And for whatever reason, that's changed. And once the right wing gets wind of that, I mean, because it's unlimited as well, it's uncapped. So
yeah,
this is it. It kind of defeats the whole point. It is just a gimmick. And Keir Starmer brought it up in PMQs twice as well.
I have not seen any of PMQs. The only thing I've seen from PMQs is him getting embarrassed by Michael Fabricant for being praising Margaret Thatcher. Oh, which unfortunately, guys, as he did not actually praise Margaret Thatcher. The problem is it's going to stick like glue now between now and the general election.
He's trying to minimise that now, isn't he?
He won't get minimised. They will blow it up. They will say everything. I've already seen pictures up there of Keir and Thatcher hugging each other and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we had the same with Blair, to be honest, because Blair actually did go and see Thatcher or invite her in. He had a meeting with her and he had meetings with Murdoch and all the rest of it before. You can kind of understand that if you're going to be Prime Minister, you'd want to take advice from somebody, even if you don't necessarily agree with the politics, but just how you deal with the civil service, how things are running. They just get some advice from somebody who's been there, done it. John Major and Tony Blair get on quite well now. They both, and during the whole Brexit thing, they were both side by side on it.
What Boris was bringing up, he was comparing his government to like Thatcher and Blair as well during the inquiry.
Right. What Boris Johnson was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to say, they had tough times too, sort of thing. The way it was coming across,
Yeah.
Was James Cleverly invited onto Rwanda's version of "This Is Your Life"? with that picture. Actually, that's probably yeah.
This is your career. It's like
Yep.
as it ending, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A very unclever career of James Cleverly, indeed. I think we should skip the last article, Lee, and just go to
okay. It was just about the advice. I mean, there's a lot of maybe we can talk about next week. I'm sure it's going to kick off. Is about these new rules on immigration.
By the time then, there might even be he might have been kicked out.
You turn on that, I think.
So, and I think Rishi Sunak. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, but Rishi Sunak is going to be going into the inquiry room at some point as well, guys. So keep your eyes and ears out for that.
Okay, something a bit more.
Right, so some good news. Hold on, before I talk about this.
You have to make him happy.
Happy one. Oh no, he's getting blurred. Very important. So this is about a lovely little kitten. Let's see if I can hold the octopus up. The headline is Garbage Man saves kitten from being crushed and now adopted and healthy in time for Christmas.
Hey.
Yes. Seconds away from being crushed in a garbage truck, the Snow White kitten has found a new home in time for Christmas after being saved by the driver. The 2-day-old feline weighed just 93 grams, less than a tangerine, when a quick-thinking garbage man heard the tiny meows and fished him out of the trash that was being dumped and being compacted in his truck. Arriving at the Blue Cross Animal Hospital, his colonization and his birth was so near the most wonderful time of the year earned him the name Tiny Tim.
Oh.
Tiny Tim needed to be hand-fed for every 2 hours, and with his eyes not yet open as a newborn, he was kept in an incubator for warmth. Following his brush with death, Tiny Tim was able to find a lovely new home with another Blue Cross kitten named Oski, the sole survivor from his litter. "I'm just so glad I brought him to the Blue Cross. What an amazing job the team has done," said the refuge collector who came to Tiny Tim's rescue. "I'm just glad we see him so well." And there's a cutie little picture of Tiny Tim there with the eyes shut.
There, I think.
I couldn't.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's all right. "I couldn't believe that he had been put in the bin. He's so cute and lovely," she said. "Tiny Tim's so inquisitive, confident, and happy. It's incredibly rewarding to see him as he is now compared to when he first came to us. Learning from another cat is incredibly valuable for Tiny Tim as he grows, giving him more chances to experience feline behavior firsthand," adds Laura. "We are so happy that he is now in a lovely home where he's happy, healthy, and fed, which is all pets want for Christmas," said Morris colleague Amanda Rumble, London's animal welfare officer at the Blue Cross, guys.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good news story.
A nice little Christmas story there, guys. And there'll be many more good stories to come. I might even, if I find enough good stories, guys, I might do like a good news, good vibe live stream for Christmas or something. I'm sure you guys would love that. So,
we didn't go through the chat after the last one.
We didn't. Let me scroll up and run through a bit. Cruella Cowley Men says, "Duke, I wonder what Bob the Knob's safe word is," says Solari the Cat.
Yeah, it's small boats. Small boats.
You got it. Jao says, "Suella sometimes sounds like a character of Skyrim, of a Hargriven." I don't play Skyrim, Jao. I apologise. I should know that because I'm a video gamer, but Duke Vengeance says, "This could have all been avoided if we had just invented teleportation, but no, it's too dangerous," they said. "What do we do with all the bodies now?" they said.
Bob in his gift mask, licking Suella's boobs, ball gagging mouth. Thank you, Solari the Cat, for that image.
Yep. How well can our Cruella Doberman hold a sword, though, said David Blase. "Well, I'm sure she will get some expert advice opinion from Penny Mordaunt if I'm on that." Oblivion for the Woman Who Cares by Paco something, says Chow. Basically, the fragrance Paco Rabanne, isn't it, sort of thing. "I can play Stand By Me on the brass, says Duke Benz. Will Keith taste sausage fish? Will Keith take sausage fingers out of a beer and a curry to celebrate?"
Sausage fingers?
Waking up to the king is a violent poor man. He's a retired man forced to work. He doesn't do any work. What are you talking about? Was Jane cleverly invited onto Rwanda's version of This Is Your Life? Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sorry. He didn't even praise Thatcher. He made a dumb decision. He did make a dumb decision, but it doesn't matter now. It's out there, so they will run with it. They will run it to the ground. But to even mention the Borg Queen is not a very good idea, says Sir Larry the Cat. Most stories would be excellent in some kind of vision of dystopian running man, says Zhao. How many people does it take to change the government? Be a lot of people, if I'm honest. Any form of PR would see a three-way split. A right of centre Christian Democratic Party, a right-wing Libertarian Party, and a far right-wing, most likely English Nationalist Party, says Chatty Rat. Yeah, you would get a Nigel Farage-like party in there, but they would never get full control. And prime example of that is what's happening with in the Netherlands right now. Is that even though the right-wing party got the most votes, they won't get power because the other parties won't let them have power. At least at this moment in time, anyway. The bass is a bit out of tune, says Duke. Vincent says another great YouTube to warm the heart. Rescued tiny kitten grows up believing he's a big dog. Day 1 to 60. Colin Thompson says Lee and Reganelite look dressed for Davos.
It's Christmas jumper day tomorrow.
It's Christmas jumper day here. So surely the kitten should have been named the Top Cat. No,
because Top Cat lived in a bin. That's why he lived in a dustbin. Trash can in America. Do you not know Top Cat?
Speaking of the Netherlands, Conservator is here. Good evening. Good evening.
Do you not remember Top Cat? Are you too young for that one? Top Cat.
No, I remember the Top Cat.
You remember?
I remember that. I remember Cat in a Hat as well. I remember that as well.
Oh yeah, Cat.
So yeah.
I bet you remember Rude Dog and the Dweebs though. That's the one. Anyway.
Shall we move on?
Yes, I keep hovering over the end stream button, which I definitely don't need to do after last week.
No, don't press anything that will turn the power off, Lee. Please don't.
Right, should we have a look at this one then?
What's this one?
This one's quite funny.
It was a great exhibition. It was end to end. You had the likes of your Van Goghs, your Toulouse-Lautrecs, your Renoirs, all turning up for the big occasion. The Royal Academy is a tough place to go at the best of times, but they turned in some terrific performances this afternoon. Manet's pastel sketches showed that he really had great technique for a big man, and I very much enjoyed the high intensity of the lad Degas. He was finding pockets of light all over his ethereal interpretations. I mean, he's a top painter. The dreamlike renderings of Monet prove that he can be good with his left hand as well as his right. And I know he was struggling to find form at the start of the season, and people said that, that he lacked composure in the final third of the canvas. But as soon as he got one powerful, symbolic impressionist masterpiece under his belt, loads more came shortly afterwards. And as expected, he went on a little run after that. And I couldn't be happier for the boy. He's a smashing lad by all accounts. And after this performance, he's sure to be knocking on the Royal Academy president's door saying, give me a shot at a full retrospective, gaffer. So, yeah, all in all, the exhibition was a tremendous victory. The lads really put a shift in, but they've got to keep doing that week in, week out. It's just a shame that they lost Degas for the rest of the season with a recurrence of that niggling injury he's got. Syphilis.
Oh, dear. Brilliant.
Oh,
top.
Very good. Not political, but I thought it was hilarious within itself. Your average football coach saying the average thing, but putting in a reference to art. We just need someone to replicate that in a political way, I think, if that's possible.
So Larry Cat says, fine form for a big lad, lol. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What would he say about Picasso, says Joe?
He's all over the place.
In the words of Harry Ned, they would say, he's a fantastic player. Great lad, he is. Absolutely fantastic player. Absolutely fantastic. That Picasso is absolutely fantastic player. Couldn't be more happier. Fantastic player.
Yeah.
If Wilders would form a government, he'd have to drop his most of his magnificent points. No idea if he succeed, but all not as bad as one would fear, says Conservator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we got the child of the thingy of the week next, is it?
No.
No, we haven't got one.
No. There's no. He's kind of going a bit too. I don't know.
He's going woke. Is basically what Lee Corn is basically saying, guys.
It's not as boring. It needs to be more boring.
Adrian Charles has gone woke.
It's gone too interesting.
Yeah, and we were told by GP News that he's going too woke, so we can't cover him now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do that, guys.
I need to just delve through the archives because his latest ones are just like I can't really. He's not hitting that note. You know, it's not good enough.
No, he's not hitting that note, guys.
Yeah,
I think we just got one more video, haven't we, at the end, and that's it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So unfortunately, guys, we have reached the end of the show, and luckily for us, the power has not gone out yet. So on that note, guys, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's come along today. Greatly appreciated. All love and support. And whether you've just commented in the chat or just hit the like button or just sat there and watched and enjoyed the show. But if you can, before we leave, because we do have one more funny video for you guys before you go, if you can hit the like button, it would be greatly appreciated. If you could also share this across social media, it also helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you hit the bell notification icon, you'll be notified of when we go live, which is normally every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And obviously, we will try to do a Christmas special a bit closer to Christmas as well. That's something we want to try and do for you guys. And also, guys, I have my own YouTube channel. If you haven't already seen it, at Reganelite, the link is in the description for you guys if you guys want to check that out as well. So feel free to check out content I've gone on there. I also done a video earlier today about my thoughts on the COVID inquiry because I sat for 6 hours listening to Boris Johnson, and don't ask me why I listened to Boris Johnson for 6 hours, but that was 6 hours of my life that I will never get back. But there you go. But also, guys, if you want to, after the show here, you can join us on the Discord chat, guys. We have our own Discord community. The link is in the description if you want to join us on there as well. So if you guys want to come on and have a mingle with have a chat with us, you're more than welcome to come and do that for us as well. There's the link there in the chat coming up now. So if you guys want to join us on there, you're more than welcome to do so as well.
Susanna David's here. Just woke up. We'll watch from the beginning. Oh, you missed it, Susanna.
Oh, that's all right. You can always go back and watch it, Susanna. All good. She just woke up because the whole COVID inquiry probably got to her and it knocked her out. That's probably what it was. Which, to be honest, I don't blame you because it was very brutal. I don't know why me and some of the people that I know sat there, listened to it for 6 hours. But I will just say, guys, just out of a reference, guys, just for you guys, some of you guys here who are on Discord, I will have it on again on Discord. If you guys want to watch it with me, if you're mad enough to watch it with me, you're more than welcome to come and join me on Discord. I will have it on the Discord. So I will live stream it from the Discord on Discord, so you can watch it along with me, so you don't have to put up with it all by yourselves, guys. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Is there anything more to add, Lee?
No, I think you covered it all.
Yep.
Octo ouch, says Vincent Brennan. I think when you put it on top of that, it looks a bit painful when you put it on top of the. It's like you're impaling him on it from the bottom.
I think he's all right. He's happy. I mean, I could put him on the lava. I could put him on the orb. Actually, I'll put him on the orb if that makes you guys feel better. Yeah. So, there you go. But he may make a return tomorrow on the Snowflake corner, guys. So keep an eye out for that as well. That's not a hand, says Otto. Well, I'll let you guys figure out a name for him. Yeah, give me a name for him tomorrow. On tomorrow's live stream on my channel, guys, with the Snowflakes corner.
Okay, right, we've got one thing to leave with, and we'll see either in the Discord or next week.
Yep, we'll see you guys on the Discord chat if you guys want to come and join us there. But if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow on my channel with the Snowflakes corner. So until then, guys, take care, stay safe, keep yourself warm, look after yourselves, be there for each other as always, and we will see you guys next Wednesday for another episode of the Snowflake Show. So take care, everyone, and have a great evening. All right.
Bye.
Welcome to Broken News. In a shock move, voters are set to elect an incredibly similar political party to the one they elected last time. The Alternative Party promises real change and a new beginning, just like the last party did before they got elected. Our reporter has more.
Yeah, as you can hear behind me, the excitement here is palpable as this country is on the verge of electing what had been the opposition party into power, which represents an overwhelming and seismic change to the very similar party which was elected last time. The opposition party says it represents a fresh new direction and the change the country needs after many years of rule from the party with a different name, but with pretty much the same type of people and the same type of policies. The new party has today published its radical manifesto for change. They say they'll do the following: lower immigration if possible, or make it higher if lowering isn't possible; create jobs if creating jobs is possible, or no worries if it's not possible; clean up politics if that's possible, but not if it's not; lower taxes if possible, but not if not. The leader of the new party says the last party too often bowed to pressure from media, the banks, big business, paid-up political lobbyists and wealthy establishment figures. He says the new party will change all that and has checked in with the media, the banks, big business, paid-up political lobbyists and wealthy establishment figures to make sure that's all okay. There was a political storm recently after some members of the incumbent party defected to the opposition party, which the opposition party claims shows their radical new direction is definitely working. This soon-to-be elected party, which has a different colour flag but operates in almost exactly the same way as the ruling party, says it plans to begin in a centrist position before moving to an extreme position in a desperate attempt to cling on to power, before the other party moves to a centrist position to get elected, before they move to an extreme position in a desperate attempt to cling on to power, before the first party we were talking about moves to a centrist position to get elected, before they move to an extreme position in a desperate attempt to cling on to power, before the other party moves to a centrist position to get elected, before they move to an extreme position in a desperate attempt to cling on to power. And oh dear, I've gone cross-eyed. Back to you.
Thank you. Well, although there is the promise of radical social change, Broken News understands that behind the scenes, the opposition party plans to maintain the status quo, protect archaic capitalist systems of oppression and wealth inequality, and preserve social hierarchies, as is the British way. A lovely story. That's all from Broken News. You're up to date.